encompasses traditional knowledge, stories, and customs passed down within a culture, often orally. In this case, musically. Broshiyo, to express oneself unapologetically, so to remain authentic.
Yeah, how do we start?
Before this interview opens up, I'll put every single question in order on the screen for clarity and for timestamp purposes. Please enjoy and stay blessed. Name Naja Rashad Dillard. You can add Brody in there, mom's last name. She probably gonna fucking flip that I did it that way. It's okay. Age 22, born in Greensboro. Yeah. And self-producer, self-writer, self-songwriter, singer, songwriter, whatever the fuck. All the above. Editor too. Editor. For some reason, everything's on the phone.
Starving artist. So, you've teased a new project coming up in the summertime this year, summer release.
So yeah, Feel was definitely the amalgamation of me trying to see how I felt about relationships in general. I think that's the problem with it. And because I still don't know, I can't finish it.
Yeah, you can't finish a project like that until you've made up your mind.
Literally. Like, I don't even know what I want. I don't know. I didn't know what I wanted then with those relationships in the grand scheme of things when I look back at it now. But like, if I could do it again, it would have to be done with live instruments. There's no fucking way.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't do it with a DAW or anything like that. I would want to actually feel the music. So,
Yeah.
there's that. I mean, it's gone through 3 iterations. It's had one phase in 2018. And I still have the files and everything. It's just, I transferred all that energy into 12. So that was that. Second time I attempted it, it turned into the Chase EP, and then it turned into the Beautiful Lost EP. And the way those were going to actually set up the album, and then once I just started getting a good feel for the new album instead, and the energy behind that one, I was like, there's no point.
Would you describe the new project in about a paragraph?
Raw. Actually, every other project has tried to do something. This one isn't, which I think that's the best part. There's no force. There's no, like, okay, well, it has to be done by this specific date, even though I said the 18th of next month, but it's whatever. Like, I'm doing that more so as in homage to myself. Happy birthday. This album, I know that's not a paragraph, but this album is, it is.
What do you mean by that?
It'll just be its own entity. Like, I wanted to stand by itself drastically in comparison to my other works.
There's only one announced feature on this album. Was that a creative choice? And how do you feel about collaboration in general?
That actually was partially creative, but partially, like, you don't have a choice. So that definitely happened. I didn't reach out to a lot of people, though. I only reached out to 3 artists. But the only reason there's one is because it's the only one that reached back out to me, literally. I don't know why. As far as collaboration, I love collaborating. When, both parties actually communicate and then we get things done and all that shit. Had so many instances where, like, a song will be in the process of being made and then all of a sudden, something happens. Something happens on their end or my end and then it's just scrapped. Like, there are songs off the top of my head, especially Middleman. Like that was like this 4 or 5 minute behemoth of a song that I built with 4 other artists, and it's just a draft. So collaborating is hard, but I think this should definitely stand as a big like self-expression moment, realistically. Anything that works. That's been this album's process. So if it's working, it's working, and the collaboration is working.
So how would you, on the topic of like changing ideas and changing how you do art, and that, you know, being limiting collaboration, exploring collaboration, scheduling, not scheduling so rigidly, how would you describe the evolution of your sound specifically? Obviously, you use similar motifs, but how else do you maintain a consistent sense of identity through different albums, eras, or even exploring other genres?
I think my first real taste of being able to, first of all, declare that I have my own signature sound was with Rashad. That album really, I mean, it is a meta album in and of itself just because it's talking about me, but like the way I went about structuring an album for the first time in that specific manner, where there was an overarching theme and then there were bits and pieces and interludes and like skits and bits hidden and like put all throughout the album to make it feel like a cohesive body of work. Prior to that point, hadn't done that, and all the different influences that I have, anywhere from, you know, A Tribe Called Quest to Deftones, I think the way I go about putting all that together to make my own sound, that's just the way I've gone about motifs. It's weird because like I've been told I don't compose music normally, or at least the conventional way where you'll have a track specifically in mind prior. Most people should or tend to, and then they'll put it down. I can tell you now, at least 80% of that album was just on the fly. Picked the sound and then just worked on it, and that was it. If it doesn't work, like if you hit like a roadblock, then, you know, take a break, come back to it. Should be fine after like 2 hours type shit. And I think with that philosophy, that's helped me just build confidence. I definitely in the future want to do better with incorporating different genres. Very electronica, R&B, like hip hop influenced, but kind of want to lean towards rock. Not gonna lie. Drums was my first instrument. Been playing it since I was like 4. I think that's my next step, like actually moving to a studio that, or at least working in a studio that can get me some, you know, like raw live instrument feel type shit. But I think my signature sound is good. I think I've honed it, and this album will showcase it to its absolute. It's literally the most polished version of my current sound you could possibly think of. So that's pretty sick.
On that topic of your fluid creative process and the sort of like make and release pattern you have, your release schedule has been erratic over the course of the last 5 years. What are you thinking as you drop 4 full-length projects in 2020, but only 1 in 2023? So how do you, let's say how do you define success in your music career?
Fuck. You have to see it first to define it, no?
Fair. I'm more asking, what are you looking for to really feel that validation? To feel like you have succeeded at something?
I'm like on one end, art is shit should be all about self-fulfillment, but I'm too empathetic. I have too much of a heart. Like I care. So I want people to care just as much as I care, which is impossible. So realistically, I mean, I guess success is just being able to reach anyone in any way, shape, or form, like actually reach them, not just on some fucking, you know, well, surface level. Hey, I heard your song. That was pretty cool. Like, been there, done that. Not that that's a bad thing. Any input is good input as long as it's actually like reasonable and constructive, or it has some merit and has some validity. But outside of that, I mean, success should just be actually, first of all, making the music and it sound good. That's fucking successful. So that's really the only thing I'd be thinking about lately. I mean, once more money starts flowing in, success will look different, realistically.
So let's say you finally achieve that success. If you had to choose, your generic celebrity, one theme to emphasize to your fan base constantly, what would that theme be?
The definition of Broshiyo. It's in the beginning of the fucking video. I mean, be authentic. Like, unironically authentic. Not just like, oh, okay, well, like, I know my name, so whatever other people think my name means and sounds like and is, and what other people, blah, 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 like, none of that matters. It's super easy to get caught up in the idea of, well, every single other person is doing it. So, like, because I know oversaturation nowadays has been a very heavy topic with, like, underground artists and just people that know that realistically they can't do it all by themselves. It's not feasible, especially nowadays, because realistically anybody can put any loop together on any DAW and make anything work. So it's just hard to stand out and try to actually be yourself. But that's the focus. I mean, if you're going to be doing art, it's the individual that matters in my eyes. Like, it'll reach the people it needs to reach, as long as it's authentic. If it's not authentic, then it won't reach the right people. So there's that.
You cover some tough personal experiences in your music. In the past, these songs were released and left up to interpretation by the audience. With your most recent project about to release, this budding lore document is an unprecedented look behind the curtain. How does it feel to not only give yourself to the audience through your work, but to also be vulnerable enough to tell them exactly what you mean to say through your music?
I just want to make it and be, acknowledged for making it, and people go like, okay, well, that inspired me to want to create something. That's all I care about, realistically. I'm mad because I care so much about my music, and it feels like I'm the only one that really cares as much. And this lore document, the website, the whatever the fuck at this point it's called, I wanted to feel like a book, damn it. It needs to explain everything because there's too much time and effort put into it for it to just amount to a play, and that's it. Like, anyone that has any interest, I want them to be able to go out and actually read, do some research, like look. I don't have a Wikipedia. I don't have like a Spotify curated like playlist or anything like that. I don't have the things that I would actually like love to have, because realistically, I like the idea of interacting with people on music, being able to have conversations, discussions of any type about not only just small things from lyrics to just like, oh, well, that loop sounded cool, but like, okay, well, wow, he has an entire thing going on with this album to this album to this album. Like, those are all the great artists that do that. And I'm not saying I'm one of the great artists, but I would love to be. I mean, if you're gonna be making something, do it as best you can. There's no point to, do it haphazardly. I can't do it any other way, because this is like me. This is all I know. Realistically, it feels like without making music, I don't know how to actually express myself properly. So that's why it's so important. That's why I get pissed, because I'm like, can't be expressing this all the time, and all of a sudden it just amounts to nothing. Shit. It's informational. I mean, that's really what this is all about. It's supposed to feel like a Wikipedia because I don't have one. So I want this to feel like, wow, damn, I can just keep going and keep reading. Like, this nigga got content for this.
The one-stop shop.
Yeah. Like, you won't have to go anywhere else for Broshiyo information. That should be the central spot. Like, I want Broshiyo to feel like a brand. I want Broshiyo to be more than just, oh, well, it's just a fucking arm tattoo. It's not like you drew it on your arm for any fucking reason. Like, nah, I mean it when I say that I'm going to, like, put in work towards it. And even though I don't like recording, we're going to make it work. Gotta show your face, unfortunately. Oh, look at me. I make music. Yo, I don't like recording. This is fucking awkward. Yeah. Are you awkward? I'm socially awkward. If you're socially awkward, congratulations. What you win? Nothing. What's past starving? Obsessive?
I guess in a way.
Like so hungry that I can see the stomach outline.
Yeah, stomach in your back type shit.
Literally.
Okay.
There's discovery. Fuck, no shot.
You know, it'd be real nice if, like, just suddenly somebody heard one of my songs and they're like, I understand it all. And then all of a sudden the whole world was just like, like, just fucking injected into their brain. So I didn't have to do any of it.
And then that makes, like, that takes the fun out of, like, art. Like, if it was straightforward art, that wouldn't be art.
My bitch ass over there sinking into the damn thing. Niggas can't even see me.
If your ass falls.
No, I'm feeling
Ah! Hello. Not no hello. I told myself I was gonna put my finger over there. The bottom always makes me rotate and shit.
I ain't got no outro, nigga. What?